For instance, I have maybe 20 boxes of strike on box matches, right? So why do I have those? Because those are a commodity that, in SHTF, those could be worth some cash, right? Those could be worth some money right there for those, right? So, there's certain stuff that's worth holding on to. Like, I'll give another example. It might be a smart idea to have a couple, like 2-pack boxes of bar soap or deodorant, because those things, they are only going up in value, right? Like, say for instance, I went to Walmart the other day and I looked at the deodorant and the soap, the shampoo and all that stuff. Some of that shit's literally up $3 from what it was like 2 or 3 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just pays to buy some of these extra goods so you have them around, whether you might use them for yourself in the future, or you can barter with them, right? When those items are hard to come across. That's just called being smart, right? Thinking ahead. The Bible says a righteous man foresees the evil and he hides himself, right? So you're metaphorically hiding yourself from, these calamities if you stock up a couple extra items, because, just like we saw in 2020, people were out here, running around like chickens with their heads cut off. When it came to like toilet paper, you literally had people literally getting into, fist fights over a damn pack of toilet paper, back in 2020. So, if that's just something that you can go on without, well, you need that, but it's not as needed for your body as food is, right? So, people are willing to get into fist fights and give somebody a bloody nose over packs of toilet paper. Then what the hell are people going to do when there's literally a famine out here, a famine of actual food that you need to survive? In that time, people are going to be willing to do much more than just getting into fist fights, man. Someone said they live in SC, Texas. I'm not sure what part of Texas that is. And I'm one of the most hated people. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, man. The truth is, those of us that are, teaching what's right and following the path that's right, we're going to be hated by the people that are, literally out there doing whatever they want. Like, I'll give an example. I've been going back and forth with an individual named Jack Smack over the past week and a half now, right? And he'll be literally on there like, oh, all these people are all going to hell because they view salvation slightly different from me. you know. So again, it just shows that they'll hate anybody that even slightly disagrees with their worldview. Or politics is a whole nother one, right? Literally got people, divided. Like, I'll give an example, right? Like, I remember a couple years back when a Republican came over for dinner and a Democrat came over for dinner, right? And that was pretty funny, when they got into a conversation about, politics, right? About political issues. That was actually pretty hilarious to watch those two have a conversation. Um, Drop a link now. Well, this is not a live stream that I'm bringing people on, man. I'm just out here. I just went for a stroll. Shit, I'm literally, about to drop over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on here, ready to get into any type of conversation with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it'd be fun to, since I was down this way, I figured I'd just go on a little nature walk. I haven't done it in 2 years, right? So I figured I'd bring everybody along with me, for the view, for the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Rudy said, do more of these. I'll take it into consideration. As I said earlier, I just got a new tripod and selfie stick, built into one here. So yes, in the future, I'm definitely going to do, No, more videos, because now I can hold the camera easier than how I previously have. Someone said, YouTube is extremely evil lately. I've been contemplating if I should even participate in it. Well, let me say this as a content creator myself, right? YouTube certainly is they're being biased, right? Like they're promoting certain people and then deliberately hiding other people. Like they're hiding my content, they're shadow banning it. But yeah, somebody like Jack that literally talks about bullshit, literally says the same thing on every video. He's literally getting, 1,000, 1,500 views on each video. So it shows that they're promoting what he's saying. But me, on the other hand, they're not promoting what I'm saying. And why is that? Because they have a bias towards us. Now, I remember a couple years back, like the GMS camps, they would deliberately get their thumbnails of videos changed from YouTube. Like YouTube would literally go on and they would change their video thumbnail to like something stupid like damn Barney or Mickey Mouse or something like that. It's like, well, why the hell are they doing that? It's like, well, clearly they're doing it because they have a bias against us because we're out here actually talking about the truth, right? They're not going to do that to, big Christian channels with like a couple 100,000 subscribers. They're not going to do it to them, right? It's like, well, boy, why the hell would you guys not go after those guys that are raking in hundreds of thousands, millions of views? Instead, you go after a small guy like myself that maybe pulls in a couple thousand views every month. You know what I'm saying? It's like that logically doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? It logically doesn't make sense for a lack of better words. Let me see. Rudy said there was plenty of food. They just wanted toilet paper. Well, yeah, that's why I said in 2020 there was a lot of food, but I'm saying like in the future there's going to be shortages. That's even in the Bible, right? The Bible speaks about there being famines in the lands, right? Just read Second Ezra 15 and 16, right? It even says that, people living before that time, just before things get bad, they thought they were living in such a good case, because items were so good, cheap upon the earth. I'm really paraphrasing, but you can read it. But then evils increased, right? So guess what? Today you can go to the damn dollar store and get a whole bag of groceries for $20. But guess what? In the future, you're not going to be able to do that. Today you can go to Walmart for with $15 can get a couple of items, nowhere near what you could, 10, 20, maybe 40 years ago, right, due to inflation. But it's going to get even worse as time goes on, right? So you can get more today with your money than what you can get in 2 years from now. But then on the flip side, you could have got more of your money 10 years ago than what you can get today with it. Like, say, for instance, right, these restaurants such as Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, and some of these other fast food restaurants. Years ago they used to like put the sauce packets out like on the open counter where people could walk up and take as many as they need for their food. But they stopped doing it for years now since people would overtake, more than what they actually need for their food, right? They take some home with them. So now you have to ask them and they'll give it to you from behind the counter, right? But years ago they used to let you pick it. And another thing is they all used to have dollar menus where you could actually go on the menu and um, you could pick from it, um, many items for literally 99 cents. But now they change it to like a damn $3 menu. Damn, I've only been on here for 40 minutes. Shit, man, it feels like I've been on here an entire hour at this point. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. You said YouTube is a search engine tool where you can find good information. On the other hand, yeah, that's true, man. Like I myself, I've been using YouTube since I was literally a little kid. Like I remember watching like Tom and Jerry and Thomas videos on YouTube when I was little, right? I remember watching that on YouTube. Um, because YouTube came out when I was like 3 years old, right? It came out in like 2005. Right, so I was born in like the early 2000s, right? So YouTube came out when I was 3 years old. And ever since I was little, I've been using it completely consistently for as long as I can remember, right? Like say for instance, I don't use cable television. I haven't had cable television in like 10 years now, right? It's been 10 years since I've had cable television where I would turn on the TV and actually watch cable TV, right? No, sure, time and time now I'll watch a movie, but you just get that by having internet. You can just rent a movie on hell, you could even rent movies on YouTube now, right? For like what, $4, $3, $5. Um or even the social media sites, or excuse me, not the social media sites. I meant to say even these like sites like where you can stream movies and TV shows, right? Like Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix. I think there's another one called HBO Max or something like that, among other streaming sites, right? Literally, you can watch your TV shows on TV with using the internet, not having cable. So who the hell wouldn't take that option? Like literally, I remember cable television's like what? You used to pay $60 a month for that. Now they might be like $30, $40, but still, why pay $40 if you can literally watch everything that you could get on cable with having internet? So you have one bill for everything. Well, maybe including the couple dollars a month if you sign up for streaming services, but still, it's a lot cheaper than using cable television. Like cable televisions is a thing of the past. There's only a couple people that watch it. Well, that I know that watch it, right? But everybody else just watches YouTube or streaming services. Only a couple people I know watch cable still. Stephen Lawyer asked, "Well, who's Jack?" Look up a channel called Jack Smack 77. The YouTube channel is called Jack Smack 77. Right? In fact, I believe the live stream before this, if you go on Jay's channel or on my channel and look at the live stream before this one, it's called something along the lines of Free Grace Open Challenge. And I talk about Jack in there if you want to learn more about him, right? He's like a free gracer. So and so, what's my thoughts on the Mandela effect? I personally don't believe in the Mandela effect. I think it has mainly to do with like false memories, like people remembering things falsely. Or I'll give another example. Like a lot of people point out like changes in like business logos over the years or gaming logos over the years. I think it just has to do with the companies changing logos over time. Like it's not like some type of world editing, going on here. It's just that companies over the course of some years that might decide to alter some of their logos. And sometimes they do it without even publicly mentioning it, right? So that's mainly what it is. The Mandela effect. It just comes back to false memory, but I do admit there are a couple instances where it does seem a little strange, like some quotes from famous movies. They actually turn out to be different than what they were years ago. So how can I explain that? I wouldn't say I have an explanation because I have looked at a few of them that I remember being a different way than what it is right now. So as to why that happens or how, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't say that it's like some type of world editing going on. I think that's a little over dramatic. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, but that's my view on it. Most Christians are fake. Yeah, you're right. Most Christians are phonies. The Bible says, I'll give you an example. What is that scripture? One of my personal favorites I've used would be Matthew 15, verse 7 to 9. These people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain they worship me, teaching the doctrine and the laws of men. Right, and that's what the church does. There's literally churches out here flying the pride flag outside of their church. It's like, seriously, I kid you not. There's literally downtown from where I was just at, there's literally churches there from the Civil War period, right? There's literally like one of the oldest churches in America downtown. It's, they even have a plaque outside the churches. It was from like the 1700s, right? And they even used it as a field hospital for the Civil War in the United States, right? Like they would bring soldiers from the Civil War into the church and they would heal them there, right? They like make it into a makeshift a field hospital, basically, where wounded people can come and get treatment, right? So, here it is, a couple hundred years later or whatever. Now these churches are flying damn rainbow flags inside of churches. Like, seriously. It's just funny to me, how backwards some of these places are, man. Some of these so-called houses of God are literally, they're promoting unrighteousness. It's like, wait, what? How the hell could you be a church and literally promote wickedness? I mean, you can't do that. That you literally can't do that according to the Bible. How the hell can you be a follower of Christ, but yet in the same breath you're literally for pro-abortion or pro what's the other one I could give, pro-abortion or rainbow's rights, right? Like seriously, how the hell can you be a Christian and literally teach that, right? It makes no sense, but again, that's how people are today. Like, I remember, hell, I'm not really old myself, right? I'm only like 20 something. But even I remember back, 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, when I was going to church, none of this stuff was taught at church. Like, no churches taught that God was okay with, woman and woman relationship or abortions. Nobody taught that God was okay with that. Nobody taught back then that God was okay with cross dressers. But now today, it seems like most Christians, if you say that God's opposed to those things, they'll accuse you of spreading hate, right? You're not teaching Jesus because Jesus is love. So and it just shows that they all got completely what's the word I'm looking for? Um they're under mind control, right? All these people out here, they got totally mentally deranged by the system, right? The system we live under taught these people all the wrong ways. Um, I'm just looking at the comments real quick. Steven, is he really? I'd have to let him answer that question, right? I can't speak on his behalf. But here's a funny thing though. This is ironic. Here's a little backstory with me and Call for an Uprising, right? Call for an Uprising started his channel in like August of 2016, right? And I started mine like 2 months before him. So I literally was a subscriber to him when he had only 13,000 subscribers, right? I subscribed to A Call for an Uprising in 2016 when he only had 13,000 subscribers. And we both started YouTube only like literally just a couple of months, like 2 months apart from each other, right? So I just find that ironic, right? It's just funny how we both started at literally like the same time. Someone said, yeah, you can even get good movies on YouTube for free. Yeah, you're right. Like, I'll give you a couple examples, right? A good movie I watched years ago that has to do with like the 666 mark. It's called 666 The Mark Unleashed. You can look it up. It's actually a pretty decent movie. They go off with a couple of things, of course, but it's actually an entertaining movie. You can watch it for free. Another one you can watch. Oh, what's this? It's actually a documentary, but it's kind of like a movie. It's called. Oh shit! It'll come back to me. Um. Oh, it's called Evacuate Earth. That's what it's called. It's called Evacuate Earth. It's like almost 2 hours long. It's a documentary, but it's kind of like filmed like a movie in a way, right? It's a really good one. Check that out. It's called Evacuate Earth. Um, yeah, among others, you can find a lot of. Oh, a whole nother one. The Hunger Games, right? Which they actually recently celebrated their 10-year anniversary. I actually picked up a whole set, right? Like at Walmart, they had like a whole 4 movie set for the Hunger Games, which I've seen it before, right? I've seen all 4 of the Hunger Games movies, but I decided to pick them up so I have them if I want to watch them. But you could even watch it like a parody somebody did about the Hunger Games. It's called the Starving Games. It's pretty funny actually. But you can look that up on YouTube, right? That's like a parody of the Hunger Games for free on YouTube. Or you could even rent the Hunger Games for like $3 on YouTube. But yeah, there's movies you can get on here for free with ads, but that's understandable. I highly, would anticipate watching a free movie with a couple ads compared to paying $5 for it. I'll do that any day. Buck and the Preacher was on here a little while for free. I haven't heard of those, but I can believe you. Someone said they have a Bible. They had a Bible as a child. They had an illustration of a lion laying by a lamb, but that was a picture, not a verse. Yeah, that's a whole nother controversial one, dealing with the lion and the lamb, because now the verse says the wolf and the lamb lie together. But I've always heard it pronounced the lion and the lamb. So yeah, that's another weird one. How would I respond to it? I think maybe what happened was like as they're printing out Bibles, maybe they might have changed the word. That doesn't mean the Bible is now altered by reality. It just means that maybe they changed a word in the Bible when they translated versions, right? That could be possible. And then the second one, maybe it's just like a cultural thing, like people always pronouncing the lion and the lamb. So then people are caught off guard when they see the Bible say the wolf and the lamb. That could be another one that, why people, view it that way. And excuse the wobbly camera, I'm holding a tripod here, selfie stick. So, there's nothing I can do about that. Steven said, what do you think about the Matrix idea that we are in a simulation? It's an interesting idea, but I believe that, like the real world actually exists, right? Like this is physically here. It's not a simulation, in my opinion. But there are a few things strange that have happened in the world that, do certainly seem strange, right? Like even in the Bible, right? Even Christ made food appear out of thin air, right? Or turned water into wine, right? So that's something supernatural. And the word supernatural doesn't mean like demonic or evil. The word supernatural just means out of the ordinary. That's what supernatural means. So was Christ supernatural? Yeah, he was supernatural. Or I'll give another one, the word paranormal. The word paranormal also means out of the ordinary. So paranormal doesn't mean bad or evil. Because a lot of people, if they hear that word, they'll automatically think of like demons or ghosts. That's not entirely true because the word just means out of the ordinary by definition. So those are extraordinary, paranormal. What's the other word I used? Extraordinary, I believe it was, or something like that. I can't remember now. Out of the ordinary things that Christ did, right? Turning water into wine, making a whole basket of fish appear from literally one fish. That's paranormal right there, right? That's supernatural. That's out of the ordinary. That doesn't happen every day. Um, and I'm not going to be able to address every single comment on here. I'm just skimming through. So I might be a little bit further back from what's going on, further down in chat in real time right now. Someone said, yeah, it's and I can't pronounce your name because I don't speak the language. So I'm just when I see you, I'll pronounce it somebody, right? So I don't mean that out of disrespect. It's just I don't know your name because the only language I speak is English. But of course, I know few words in other languages, but I was raised speaking English, right? So most people on Earth only speak one language. Some people two languages. Um, I know some Hebrew words, but certainly can't speak fluent like some people are capable of doing. Um, so yeah, he said, yeah, it's disgusting that the churches have rainbow flags in them. Yeah, absolutely, it's ridiculous. Then he said, well, the church when I grew up was full of Freemasons. Hell, I'm sure there's still Freemasons in the church today. I actually live around a Freemasons lodge. Now, somebody will say, well, why would you live there? Well, it's something called not having many places available to live, right? So you got to take what's available, to you. You know what I'm saying? And plus, the people going there are like level one Masons. They don't know what the hell is going on, right? Like, not every Mason is a devil worshiper, right? Some Masons just get in there because it's something fun to do on the weekend, right? Like, not everybody is a devil worshiper that is a Freemason. That's just not factually true. Many of them are, of course, on the higher levels, but a level one Mason is just doing that for something fun to hang out on the weekend doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, call for an uprising got his big channel removed. So did Russian Vids. They're back now, but with smaller channels, of course. Yeah, I hear you, West Texas. I can't say that on stream, but I hear what you're saying.